Hi, I'm standing here with my new built table. It's on wheels and the wheels can be locked. And that is for my Bulkman CNC that I am awaiting maybe in 14 days. It has been on its way for 14 days. It takes approximately a month right now as the situation is. So in the meantime, I'm trying to prepare, so I just have to build the whole thing. I matter of fact ordered it with the NEMA 23 stepper motors. I already have some really good ones, German quality, that I'm preparing for use. Another thing is I have been building the electronics, and I have some different switches. I have bought VFD, and I use of course my DDCS for this. Also, the pendant is ready to rock, and the difference this time is I try to organize the wiring really quite a lot. You will see here. So inside I have 220 volt power coming up here. I have this I received today and did build in. It is a power supply on 5 amps, which I only use for the DDCS controller. This one is a 15 amp 24 volts transformer that I use for stepper drivers and engines only. So this should, matter of fact, have keep a lot of power here. The VFD is from G Penny, I think it is, and it really works great. I bought a kit with this. It's 1500 kilowatts, approximately 2 horsepower, and it really works very well together. I also have these small smart things there that matter of fact can take up to 600 volts, but I made two lines here, one 220 volt and a 24 volt circuit, so there are two different circuits here. Then there is for future extension here, this will matter of fact be the lead light on the CNC machine. I want some light there. Here I have for stepper motors, and here I have for the power 220 volt on off. I have attached a keyboard as well, and the keyboard is a wireless one. And yeah, then at the side I have made cable connections X, Y, and Z. There will be some more connections. I have I think it's 1, 2, 3, a 7 pin that I need to enter here. That will be for my homing switches on the Bulkman 1010. So that's matter of fact how that looks. So to start up the whole thing is turning on here, turning on there, stepper motors, the VFD is coming up. It's already programmed everything. I have my emergency switch there, waiting for the offline controller to start up. Here we go. So I can load this one, and we can push start, and you will see that everything is running quite well. Now we are running 6,000 turns per minute, as you can see here. And now I did put it into the X-axis. I have tested all 3 axes, it works. And yeah, so everything is ready now. Just need the rest of the machinery. Another thing I have been making while I'm waiting for the Bulkman is a CNC calculator that is online and it's free to use. And from there you can choose your material, and you get a guidance on how many feet per minute, cut depth, chip load, spindle speed, almost everything you need to know as a guidance for your tool. So I will show you a little bit how that works right now. So the calculator is really easy to use, and I want to say there is a disclaimer here. This tool is only for hobby use. The data provided has to be considered as a recommendations. I have modified this more or less for my own personal use, but as I always say, it is a preference. So the first thing you do, there is the materials to choose around here, and that's quite a lot. Everything is wood, different types of wood, but there's also aluminium and brass, and that's what I can do in my Bulkman. So if I want to find some pine, I can just start to write pine and use my arrow keys, and you can see it says pine, hard pine here, and it gives me, there are some standard settings, number of fluids, it's 2, and it is a very common tool used, is this one on 3.175 millimeters. So this gives me a plunge rate of 200 millimeters per minute, cutting speed of 78 meters per minute, and feet per tooth, millimeters per tooth, is 0.32. The recommended spindle speed here is 7,800. And the depth is 1.5, which is the half of it. So here the overlap is 1.27 millimeters, and that comes from this scale here. The standard is 40%, and it goes up to 70%. And of course, if you have a big surface to work out or plan, then 70% can be good, and maybe keep some few 0.2 millimeters left, and then do the surface on 40% on the last process. You can also here change the amount of fluids, and of course the tool diameter. Let me change it to 6, and I have one end mill on these parameters, and you can see the feet millimeters per minute on this pine is really increasing a lot. The spindle speed is still 8,260 RPM. It is normally about having the speed as low as possible, because it will create less heat on your tool. And if you start with these parameters and your work is starting, it is again the look and the feel and the noise you listen to, and you can tweak the speed and the millimeter per minute the feet. So if you want, you can add some comments here, and well, it could be project number 1. I have my tools in Kavco Hunter like a T1. I use the code EM for end mill, and it is a 6 millimeter, and you can have a lot of blah 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 down here, so you can enter what you want. So when you are happy with your settings, you can do like this. It gives a page where it comes out with your comments, the data you want to use for this project. So you just print it or make a PDF or whatever of it, and yeah, that's it. So, and if you see something is wrong, you can go back and make your changes. So that's it, free to use, and well, happy carving, and see you another day, another time. Bye bye.